you learn how to use social media, learn how to use YouTube for your business, you are the content. Podcasting, you telling your story is a natural funnel because people are gonna trust you by you consistently putting out value.
I believe almost everyone should have a podcast, minimally weekly podcast, because it's an easy way to create creative. All of you live on social. What do you think's in your feed? Half of it is podcast clips.
Coca-Cola, Adidas, Nike, never see on their Instagram or TikTok them putting a shoe in your face and say, buy this Nike. They sell the feeling of putting Kobe's on and shooting that last second shot and winning the game. When you consume the video, you're like, oh, I want that feeling. It's the fear of missing out on that feeling. People don't care about price anymore. They care more about the story and the journey. Capture them on those two things.
These folks got their hit no cap.
A few tactics here. I said, how can I be the one, obviously, who's on the side of that creating, but also who they're not just swiping on? Like, how can I capture their attention? And that's the strategy that I do in every time. Of course, some people will skip your stuff, but like, how can I capture their attention? You know what I mean? So how can I be on the other side of that screen that they're looking on the content? And that's where the power lies, that you can put out information that's valuable, that's inspiring, but then again, monetize it. And tell your narrative.
Exactly. And big social media platforms have just made it easier. It's like, you know, if you put anything out there, you're bound to make money.
Yeah.
You're bound to, you know, make something out of yourself. But I guess the hardest part, and this is where people struggle between being on the consumption side and the creator side, is people are scared to jump out of that consumption side and be the creator.
Why?
I think it's just, it's people, you know, worried about what other people think about them, especially their close-knit friends, or, you know, the outside noise, I called it, you know, the outside noise that tend to get to a lot of people, especially in today's world. I think a lot of us mentally are weaker than, you know, let's say, generation before us, mentally. And I think that's due to, that's probably because a lot of us as kids weren't disciplined. That's all it comes down to it.
You have that gift, you have that talent, and that gift and talent needs to be seen, it needs to be heard. Your downfalls, your amazing moments, your business needs to reach more people. That is what we do here at the Rabasha Family Podcast. So for a select few, we can have you as a guest on our show. For me as the host to ask you questions about what you do. This is a skill, creating this content, being able to film, produce it. It is a valuable skill that we have learned, and we want to utilize that to help as many people as possible. So you'd have me as your host, ask you questions, get to know you and your business and how to build up your personal brand. We're then able to market and repurpose content from the podcast on all platforms, including your network. So if you really want to be in touch, if you want to be a guest on our show and be able to use marketing material from this valuable podcast, from your valuable story out to more people, we have that available. You could use the podcast as a funnel for your personal brand, for people to know the face, for people to know your amazing story. If just one person can be impacted from your story, that is what matters. So the link in the bio, there is a form for you to fill out. Go out there, fill out the form, and we'll get you started on how we can help your personal brand today.
Especially our generation and the Gen Z and the generations coming, I think we're gonna have a huge issue with mental toughness.
Yeah, 100%. It's true. It's you know, and in a day and age of where, again, like everything is being dictated by the outside world. You go on and you see other people doing well, and then, you know, that makes you feel that maybe you're not doing so well in life. And yeah, like you said, there's that challenge. But like for me, when you tap into, like, to be honest, bro, I don't get distracted by social media, honestly. Like I just go on the platform. Maybe the time I do spend on there is just the posting part sometimes, you know? So it's like, or I just kind of maybe rewatch what I've just posted, you know, as feedback. So yeah, it's true. If people can, of course, you guys can be on the Rabasha Family Podcast on people like yourself. So now when you're putting out content, people see encouragement.
Yeah.
But how is your posting game like? What's your Because like you said, especially if you have a business, if you have, and I see this so many times, Sam, I see this so many times, business owners, company, even the big companies aren't doing it the best, but if you learn how to use social media, if you learn how to use YouTube, the platform, long form, for your business, you don't even, to be honest, need to spend money so much on advertising. You are the content. Exactly, you are the advertisement. Podcasting, you are the content. And you telling your story is a natural funnel because people are gonna trust you by you consistently putting out value, putting out information, you know, within your media company or on someone else's podcast. So talk about your strategy, how you see it. Do you wanna get into posting, you know, tell me.
Yeah, so I think one of our biggest market strategies is to sell not the product, but the story, the environment, the feeling of the product. Like if you have a look at some of the biggest companies out there, like Coca-Cola, Adidas, Nike, you know, you never see on their Instagram or TikToks them putting a shoe in your face and say, buy this Nike Kobe, you know, 26s or whatever they are. They sell the feeling of putting Kobe's on and shooting that last second shot and winning the game. You know, it's that feeling that they sell. So when you consume the video, you're like, oh, I want that feeling. It's the fear of missing out on that feeling. So I think for myself as well, I want to sell to everyone the story of how our startup started and the journey that we're going through to get to, you know, where it's going to be. And, you know, because people will always care about, unconsciously will always care about what how someone is doing or how someone's product is doing. So they'll naturally just watch 0.3 seconds of it. And if it grabs their attention, it's all game from there.
You got them.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's creating content. It's creating content strategically as well, where you're doing it where the person who's watching the video, they're so captured within the value or the story, or even if it's just the entertainment of your content, that they don't even know it's a so-called an advertisement. They don't even know it. They're so hooked in to whatever it is that you have to offer, because you do have something to offer, you know, and that's why this podcasting is so powerful, because it's like, you know, that story, what he's talking about, he's making me laugh, and you just build the trust, you build the authenticity. Like you said, Nike, Adidas, these companies, what they've done well is they put in the outcome, the feeling. People might not remember your name, they might not even remember your product, but they'll always remember how you make them feel. And if your service, your product can make someone feel amazing, if you can come on a platform like this, if you can create your own content and make someone feel amazing and give someone value, give someone information, they don't subconsciously even know what you're doing, but there's power in that.
Yeah, and it's gone all the days where you remember those ads that you see on the morning shows, the sunrise, where they go from the news to like the side thing, and they go, oh, buy this vacuum for $49.99 and get a free vacuum handler with it. You know, that's, you know, people don't care about price anymore. They care more about the story and the journey. And the more you can capture them on those two things, people won't even have a look at the price or however much it costs.
Bro, hey guys, you guys want to hire Samuel Tabudamada as your marketing director? You know, the link will be, or his contact details will be in the description. You know what I'm saying? Facts, bro. You spitting facts, and why also you're so important in what you're saying is now helping startups. You know, helping people like yourself who are creating things, who have services. And a lot of people, they create these amazing startups, have amazing ideas, but they don't know how to communicate those ideas. They don't know how to be able to make that other person see that vision. You're going and talking about, well, this has a systematic approach of go,
no one cares.
Speak English. No one cares about that. You know, it's funny enough. Like I did it was a Sydney startup hub, and I did a pitch deck. They were teaching how to land your idea, communicate your idea. And after my speech, you know what he said to the audience? He said, you see how Eve talked about his product in the last 30 seconds? the Massive Platform podcast, he was like, you see how he talked about his product in the last 30 seconds? The majority of his speech was the emotions, the story, the first, and he talked about it now at the end, but I was so already hooked in. And so it's like a lot of companies and businesses, again, even the big brands, some of them still struggle with the social media game.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're gonna love that one.